Hi everyone, here's what's bothering me today. So, in the past 48 hours, we have had a white guy whose Instagram was full of pro-Trump content go and just murder in cold blood in what is probably a hate crime several Asian American women, several of whom are the age of grandmothers, in Atlanta, Georgia. And they said that, oh, well, he had a bad day, which is, what the fuck? And furthermore, talk about trying to make it about his, bad day, and they're trying to also make it a sex thing. Like, several of these victims were elderly women. What the hell is wrong with you? Additionally, however, it came to light that he wanted and was planning to do even more egregious attacks. However, I said just within the past 48 hours, there are two other stories here that are getting lost in the news. A white guy who's also a Trump supporter was arrested in North Carolina for detonating a series of bombs at buildings around the local area, including a church, an American Legion Lodge, and a county community services building. And then additionally, yesterday, there was news that an armed man from Texas, who is also a Trump supporter, was arrested outside the vice president's official residence in Washington, D.C., armed with an AR-15 and multiple magazines of ammunition. So, yeah, he probably wanted to have a conversation with the country's first POC vice president. There is such a clear and present problem and danger of white supremacists and people radicalized by Trump and loyal to dear leader that they are causing problems and violence and death and property damage throughout the United States. These are three stories in the past 48 hours. That should be seen as an unconscionable problem and a call to action. And yet, unfortunately, this is not going to happen because America still has not reconciled itself with its problem with racism against blacks, indigenous people, Asians. Case in point, hate crimes are way up in both the United States and here in Canada. Hate crimes against them are way up because of this virus. And yet the narrative is, oh, these are lone wolves. Oh, they weren't radicalized. Look, we all have bad days. Look, he's going through a divorce. What? My man was horny. And just terrible and inexcusable justification after terrible and inexcusable justification for what should be seen as the most terrible and troubling of developments, and yet it continues to go unpunished in the United States of America, and it's exhausting. There is a clear and present danger. People in America's own intelligence services have said as much, and yet nothing seems to be done. Or if there is any kind of progress, they deliberately drag their feet. Cops dare not do anything and often don't even think that it's much of a problem. Probably because, as we've seen with various other leaked reports, that the cops are on their side, which is yet another troubling problem that more people should begin to pay attention to and treat as more of a problem than it is currently being treated in the media and political landscape. These are all just terrifying, troubling, and exhausting. People have been saying this, from the intelligence community to the minority communities. They have been saying that this is a problem for decades now. When will enough be enough that the problem begins to actually get national attention? There's a national conversation around it, and something finally begins to be done. The fact that this still hasn't happened, despite so many instances and so much evidence over not just years, but decades now, is definitely what's bothering me today.